What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl MJ and I am back with another video. Oh my god, like I'm getting excited doing these videos every week. I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like this is like my own little like teacher's lounge, and like, you know, I get to vent and just like let everything out. Before we get into this video, you know, I need y'all to do what? You already know. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. All right, so let's get straight into the video because I don't even want to waste your time. All right, guys, so as you can see on the title of this video, this is about what you should know before walking into a classroom. All right, so this is for my first year teachers, or even for my teachers who are just new to a school, who just went to a new school, or just need a quick little reminder of what you need to do to survive. Y'all knows the educator in me. I gotta have my handy dandy notebook, and yeah, so first tip is do not expect to know everything, okay? I see a lot of like teachers do this where they feel so overwhelmed and pressured because they think they were supposed to know something that they didn't know or no one even told y'all. So like, don't feel so stressed out. I personally work with a first year teacher right now, and I keep telling her, listen, miss blah blah blah, stop trying to like, stop stressing yourself. Like, you didn't know this. How were you supposed to know? Like, no, don't let these people stress you out. And when I say these people, I'm saying the whole system. Don't make people feel like you're supposed to know everything on your job description. Nah, like, I don't know everything on my job description. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So even when it comes down to your subject area, you could be really, really smart and really mastered and gifted in your subject area, and you still will have like a little loophole or a little issue because it may not be something that you were familiar with. Don't try to act like you know it. So the next tip is read the room, y'all. Read the room. When I say read the room, I mean any room you're in. Read it, feel it out. All right, so what I noticed too is that with a lot of newer teachers, they always feel like they should just, I feel like they feel like they have to show up. They have to let me show you guys. I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much like if we're in like a department meeting or if we're in a meeting or whatever, and the tone is you don't really say anything. Don't say anything. Listen, I know a lot of people like to share their opinion and share their thoughts and be heard and all that, but there is a strategic way to be heard without actually saying in front of everyone or making this like moment to just let it all out. Don't ever let it all out. Even when they try to make you super comfortable, like this is a place where you can let it all out. Yes, certain things you could let out and, you know, let the whole team know or ask your questions. Don't be afraid. Like, I'm not saying be afraid, but I'm saying like when there's real like, you know, things that you feel like are some issues that you're like, yo, like homegirl. When I say homegirl, I probably shouldn't say, I'm gonna say whatever. If administration homegirl didn't like email you back or something, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't write back in the email, why didn't you write me back? Like, don't do all that weird stuff. Like, actually go out, see her, talk to her in person, because whatever she may not want to, you know, have that in like paper trace, you feel me? So you might want to go to her, talk to her about your situation or whatever. And going back to even like department meetings or like just in front of people, like, listen, read the room. If nobody is really saying anything, everybody's kind of like tiptoeing, you might want to tiptoe too. Like, don't jump in. Don't think, okay, I gotta be the advocate of this year. And maybe you are the change to school, but I'm telling you, school culture is very strong, okay? Whatever the culture is, it's most likely going to stay that way, and you are not going to be able to change that culture just in a blink of an eye. Okay, this is a really big tip. Do not worry about your admin, okay? Don't worry about them. Like, trust me, their job is to always tell you what else you need to do. No matter how much you finish your job, no matter how excellent you are at your job, no matter how many tasks you complete, no matter how many, you know, students you've enrolled and, you know, students you're working on with anything regarding to like testing, whatever you're doing, trust me, they're always going to tell you there's something else to do. So don't go in there feeling like, oh my gosh, like, why would she say this? Why would she tell me I need to work on this or fix this? That's their job. They're never going to tell you you're perfect. No matter how high they put on your teacher's evaluation, they always going to say you did something that, you know, didn't cover something. That's just their job. Administration should not be bullies, okay? They're supposed to assist you. They're supposed to inform you about your job. They're supposed to help you with your job, but they are not supposed to be bullies, all right? There's this whole notion that like when admin comes around, they can just act out however they want to act out in front of you. No. One thing I've learned over the school years is that you have choices, you have rights, you have to be treated fairly, and even if people don't like you and stuff like that, then there are certain things they're not supposed to do. And I'm a big advocate on if it doesn't feel right, most likely it is not right. The next tip is be cool with your students, man. Like, I see too much of this division with students and teachers and students, where there's like a divide where people don't trust anyone. Like, everybody feels like they shouldn't be like, you know, trustworthy to the next group. I feel like students will say, oh yeah, well, you know, she doesn't really say anything to us, all she does is give us instructions and leave us alone, you know? Like, no, actually get to know your students, especially your first year teacher. Like, having those small talks. You don't gotta talk to everybody in a classroom because every student is different, but like the students who are trying to get to know you, you can tell because they usually, you know, they try to have small talk with you, but if you're really short with them, they're gonna feel like, oh, she doesn't care about me, let me move on. Especially high school students, they're really sensitive. Like, they like to act like they're big and bad, but they're real sensitive. If you ignore a high school student, they ain't never gonna forget. Like, they're gonna hold it down to the end of the school year. So make sure you're really mindful, even if it's the older kids. Understand they're still kids at the end of the day. So if they don't say good morning to you, you still say good morning to them. I know, trust me, it could get a little aggravating dealing with older students, but definitely just break through that barrier because they got their guards up. They've encountered a lot of, you know, crappy teachers, and you don't want to be that group. You take your time, man. Like, take your time walking into the school year. Don't go in here trying to just run on this school year. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to, you know, participate in every, you know, school activity. I'm trying to sign up for this, that. Like, relax. The reason why I say that is because you got to really feel out your environment. You have to ask yourself, is this working harder or is this working smarter? And you want to work smarter in the school year. You don't want to get burnt out where all of a sudden you signed up for all of these extra things, you know, to be the teacher here, to be the coach here, and then you really don't know your job description, your initial job description. Because what happens is all those other things are going to kind of like get in the way, interfere, and then you'll become overwhelmed. So like, don't go in there just trying to do a whole lot. Like, literally do one thing at a time. This year is all about you just getting acclimated, right? Next, oh, this is a really, really big one. This is I like this one a lot. Don't threaten kids, y'all. Don't threaten the students. Don't be that teacher who's always like, I'm gonna kick you out and then you're gonna get suspended, or I'm gonna do this. Listen, don't do that with students, okay? Because if you bark and no bite, those kids are going to rip you apart the whole school year. They're going to be testing your gangster. Remember, I tell y'all all this all the time. Kids got time, okay? As adults, as teachers, we don't have time. We're always trying to find out how to do things in the quickest way in the shortest amount of time. Kids, they got time, okay? So if a kid has a beef at the beginning of the school year, trust me, they've been plotting every day on how to mess with you. Every day until the end of the school year, because they have time. All they're thinking about is like, oh man, I gotta go to Mrs. Chester's class, third period. Bet I'm about to mess with her today. And they're gonna do little tactics and this and that. Don't listen. Even your most troubled students, I like to say to myself, and this is me being honest, I say to myself, MJ, that kid right there, don't mess with him. I know kids who I don't mess with. I don't care what anyone says. Teachers do this all the time. Don't mess with those about kids, okay? There are kids who are about that life. Don't overwhelm yourself. Even if they make you frustrated, you're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to feel overwhelmed, but give it to the appropriate people. Don't go in there and being like, oh, today's your last day. Today, da 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 da. Don't go back and forth with them, because when they get real, you know, you don't want to be a victim. Oh, this one is a banger, and I use this till this day. I don't care. Like, I always tell people, especially if you can still use this tip. You can definitely still use this tip even if you move to a new state, y'all. Use the first year teacher as an advantage. Yes, be a first year teacher. Embody the first year teacher. that means you are allowed to use I don't know for a while, okay? You're allowed to say, oh my gosh, like what? I wasn't sure. Like, definitely use that for your advantage. I'm not saying be a bad teacher now. I'm not saying the things that you are required to do to skip out on it. No, but what I'm trying to say is utilize it in the best way you can. Because let's just be honest, you're not going to know everything. So be open and honest. I did not know. Do your best, man. Do your best. Do your best. And you are doing your best. Give yourself a pat on the back. You are doing your best. Do your best, y'all, because I will be honest with you, every day to show up to a very interesting environment, it's hard. It's not easy to show up being a teacher, especially nowadays, man. There's so many requirements. You know, you feel really overwhelmed. You're really confused because they're confused. Listen, do your best, okay? That means if you make some mistakes, you made some mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. So if you make a mistake, you just take it with the L. You take it with like, dang, all right, I know not to do that next time. I know not to do this next time. Do your best, man. Even if they don't tell you thank you or you're doing a great job, don't expect that from anyone. All right, that's another thing. Don't expect validation from anyone because they're not going to give it to you. So don't expect it, but you know how you show up. And especially, that's why I always tell y'all, really show up for these kids, man, because at the end of the day, these kids are going to be able to advocate for you. When they start to talk about, oh, I walked into Mrs. whatever class and she wasn't doing anything, those kids will be like, nah, like we do this, we do that. They'll talk up for you if you, especially if you express it to the kids, because you can low-key do that, y'all. You can low-key express how you feel to the kids without telling them everything. You could be like, guys, yesterday when we did this and that, how did you feel about how... It's all about how you word it, y'all. So anyways, before we finish off this video, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment right down here below if you have any tips for any of us over here in this teacher world to survive another school year. All right, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.